It's kind of cool living in a renaissance, isn't it? Like, we have all these incredible AAA titles that are releasing right now. Stuff like Ghost of Yotai, which looks incredible. Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is a beautiful, stunning, amazing, fully realized 3D world. And then we have things like Shovel Knight. Beautiful, modern games told with a retro aesthetic. Taking modern sensibilities of game design and things that we have developed over the last 35 or 40 years of game development into making something that looks old, but plays new. Today we're looking at 10 incredible retro-style modern video games. Ones that pay homage to the past, but have modern sensibilities that make them fantastic. And we're kicking things off on the Nintendo Switch. So yeah, kicking things off on the Switch, and in fact, everything that you see in today's video is going to be captured on the Nintendo Switch, but all these games, as shown in the title cards, are going to be available on multiple platforms. Everything is available on Steam. Most are available on things like the PlayStation and the Xbox store, so plenty of opportunities to check out all these fantastic modern retro games. And the one I want to start with is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. I just got this game last month, and it was one that I was very interested in because I love the Ninja Gaiden series, even though I am abjectly terrible at it. If you watched my most recent video where I talked about video games I love that don't love me back, you will know that that is a fact. And this is one that I was interested in playing because I wanted to see what a modern Ninja Gaiden game would look like, and it's brilliant. It's just as difficult as the classic NES games, just told with a bit of a improvement as far as things like mechanics and gameplay options go. There's more buttons, so there's more things you can do. The level designs are a little more ambitious than the original games, and the kind of combat mechanics and things like that are a little more ambitious as well. So while it looks and feels like a classic 8-bit side-scrolling hack and slash, it plays like a modern game, and that's exactly what we're looking for today. This game is amazing. It is available on the Steam, Switch, the PS4 and 5, and Xbox One or Xbox Series, so all kinds of opportunities to play this one. Any opportunity I have to talk about Battle Axe, I'm going to take it. And there isn't a game on this list that I don't think fits the criteria better than this game. When you look at it, it looks like a classic Neo Geo game. In fact, it was either released for the Neo Geo or was scheduled to be released for the Neo Geo and hasn't happened yet. But this is a top-down hack and slash adventure game where you get to choose one of 3 characters. It feels like it stepped out of the arcades. It's almost like Final Fight and Gauntlet had a baby, if that makes any sense, because the games just mesh so well together, and they made this beautiful, wonderful, fantastic little offspring here in Battle Axe. This is captured on the Nintendo Switch. It is a wonderful, fast-paced hack and slash game that is just a super fun experience and something that I have had a ton of fun playing. It's available everywhere. It's a wonderful game and absolutely worth playing if you haven't had the chance to do so. I think this is the newest game on the list. This is Neon Inferno from RetroWare, and this is a love letter to Metal Slug, Contra, and Wild Guns Rearmed, if that makes any kind of sense. And I'll explain where I'm going at with this one. So, you play as one of 2 characters. You are essentially mob hitmen, and you have to go through the different levels and beat the bad guys. Like everyone gets that. It's a very simple point A to point B that you need to complete. But where the things get really interesting are the different gameplay elements that are involved here. You have cover mechanics that you can use when you have to go to the point where you are shooting into the background. You can shoot out lights and things like that. And where the Wild Arms kind of comes in is that shooting into the background, because there will be certain points in the game where you are going to need to aim and fire into the background to defeat the enemies before you can move on from the level that you're in. It's an absolutely fantastic game and a super fun, difficult kind of like ramp up as you're playing that is just marvelous to experience. And one of the best multiplayer games on this list right here is Neon Inferno. Absolutely worth checking out. I got to play this in Pittsburgh at the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo with my friend Andy. We had an absolute blast, and it is a marvelous experience. Chances are, if Tribute developed it, I'm going to play it and I'm going to love it. And there's actually a couple of Tribute games on this list. This one is Panzer Paladin, which plays a little bit like a mix of Blaster Master and Metroid, if that makes any kind of sense. You are playing as a mech pilot, and your Panzer is your giant mech unit. And as you go, you're going to find different weapons that you're going to use to attack with, and each one is going to have a kind of stat or ability that is going to make your gameplay experience either easier or a little more difficult, but with a fair trade-off for a better ability that you can use in the game. One of the catches with this game, though, is that those weapons are going to be used to unlock things or to destroy certain blocks. So something that might give you an advantage as far as combat goes, you're going to need to use to be able to proceed through the level. And where this feels like Blaster Master is you're actually able to hop out of your Panzer. And when you do that, you are playing just as a normal girl with a whip. And you have to go around and find different things to charge your Panzer back up. It's a magnificent title, and one of those games that I just fell in love with the first time I played it. Tribute is legitimately one of my favorite developers. I can't think of a game that they've made that I've disliked, and just thrilled that this one exists, because while they do a lot of licensed stuff, when their original games hit, that's where the magic really lies. I have to thank my friend the immortal John Hancock for introducing me to Towerfall, which is just insanity on a plate, basically. It is one of the most frantic and rambunctious and crazy multiplayer games I've ever experienced. Now, single player, it's fun as well, but where this game sings and where this game really comes to life is when you play the 6-player, single-screen, like, on-the-couch gameplay. It is amazing. So, it is an arena combat game that feels a little bit like a mix of Bubble Bobble and Super Smash Bros., if that makes any kind of sense, because if you fall from the bottom, you're going to come from the top. That's where the Bubble Bobble thing comes in. But your goal is to eliminate the enemies on the screen and to get rid of your competitors that are there. And there's power-ups you can collect, there's different abilities you have limited shots, so as you shoot, you're going to need to go to collect ammo and things like that, and it's just magnificent. It's such a ridiculously wonderful game, and it is so much fun, and it is microscopic in size. It's under half a gig. It's like 430 megs or something like that of storage on your console, and it's amazing. It's so much fun. Really, really strong game. One that I strongly urge people that are doing multiplayer experiences where they're just hanging out with their buds, or if they run tournaments and things like that, this one needs to be in your rotation because it is so much fun to see people play it. Doesn't get better than classic beat-em-up action, and I could have put any of the River City Girls games on here, whether 1 or 0 or 2, which is the one we have here. They're all fantastic, and they all have so much inspiration from Shock of Shocks, River City Ransom, right? Each of them are fantastic beat-em-up games. Each of them have fun role-playing game elements, and none of them take themselves too seriously. They're all very silly. They're all very over-the-top and very fun and beautiful to look at. Just absolutely wonderfully designed. They all present a little bit different challenge as well. Like, River City Girls 0 is very difficult just from, like, a core video game concept. Like, it is a hard game. It is set up to be hard. River City Girls and River City Girls 2 are a little bit more forgiving, but they toss in a lot of different gameplay elements that weren't present in 0. So, kind of pick your poison, find out which one is most interesting to you. For me, River City Girls 2 has been my favorite thus far. You can't go wrong with any of them. They're all wonderful, but this one to me is just the one I think if anyone is going to play any of the River City Girls games, 2 is the one to go with. Another entry from Tribute and one of my all-time favorite games. I love Flinthook. Flinthook is a wonderful blend of roguelike gameplay by also combining things with a physics engine that is just second to none, and the gameplay is classic run-and-gun shooter. It's a little bit Mega Man, it's a little bit Metal Slug, but it's so much fun, and it is so well designed. First off, the different things that you're able to do in the game by being able to kind of launch yourself around the room, utilizing your flint hook, your kind of grappling hook to launch yourself all over the place, to be able to use your time belt to kind of phase through lasers and things like that, and then still have all these amazing enemies that you have to fight in these fantastic worlds that you have to get through, these different ships that you have to go through and collect all the bounties on them, is wonderful. It truly is. This is such an incredible game, and it's unforgivingly difficult at times. Like, it is one of those games that it's a perfect example of just one more run, and you're going to say that 50 times before you finally turn the game off at the end of the day. One of my favorites. There is a physical for this one as well. It is very hard to find. It is very expensive, but well worth it if you're interested in picking it up. The game's amazing. I strongly urge, of all the games on this list in this video, this is the one I want people to play. It's so good. Oh man, do I love Owlboy. Owlboy is such a wonderful platformer. So it doesn't play like a traditional platformer. Well, I mean, it does, because it was heavily inspired by things like Super Mario Bros. 3 and Kid Icarus. So you're going to see things like vertical level design. There's lots of gliding mechanics involved. But beyond that, it doesn't feel like a traditional game. You can see winks and nods to things that have come before, but it is decidedly its own thing. And not only is the gameplay fantastic and challenging and fun, the characters in the game, like Otis, the main character in the game, is wonderful. It's just such a beautiful game to look at and such a fantastic game to experience that I can't help but just love it. It's one that I used to own physically, and I foolishly traded it in or sold it at one point, and I wish I hadn't. I only own it digitally now. I haven't found another physical copy of it recently, and that really sucks. But the game is absolutely magnificent. One of my favorites, and just such a strong title, and such a... like, it just has heart. And I think that's really the thing that makes me love this game so much, is that it's just... it's an earnest game, and that's really, really cool. This is the game that made me want to do this video. Again, the third version of this video. This is Sea of Stars. And Sea of Stars was one of my favorite games last year, and one of the single strongest RPGs I've ever played. It is a loving mixture of things like Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo, as well as like Chrono Trigger and things like that. Like, it feels important. The thematic elements of the game are important. The subject matter feels important, but it's delivered in such a way that while it is important and it's stuff that needs to be shown more in games, it's not something that is so heavy-handed that you're going to be beat over the head with it. It's just there. It's just set dressing, and it works. The gameplay mechanics are wonderful. There's timing-based combat as you're playing, which I think is fantastic. The characters are memorable. The writing is wonderful. It fits right into the world of The Messenger, which is a game I featured on one of my previous videos in this series. So if you haven't played that one, be sure to check it out. And it's just a spectacular RPG. One of the best I have ever played. No lie. Love this game. So happy that it lived up to the expectations that I put upon it. And it's just a fantastic experience overall. Folks that have been on the channel for a while will be sick of me talking about C.A.R.L, but I need to talk about C.A.R.L right now because this is such an absolutely brilliant game. This was developed by my friend Andrew. You know him as Nintendo, Andrew Kennedy, a magnificent game developer and someone who had a vision for a wonderful throwback to classic video game experiences just using modern consoles. And it's wonderful. To me, it is a nearly perfect game in every single way. The gameplay is fun and memorable. The characters are funny. The writing is fantastic. The music is amazing. The level designs are wonderful. There's a challenge in each different hub that you go to that is going to make you have to play a little bit differently. And it is just, it's magic. It really is. It is one of my favorite games of the last probably 20 years. And the inspirations that are apparent in this game that Andrew used to kind of set the table of what he wanted to make this game like are readily apparent. Things like Super Paper Mario, games like Cave Story, they all have their kind of thumbprints on this game while still being uniquely told by what Andrew was able to develop. There is a physical coming from Premium Edition Games, and I can't wait to get it, but for now, digitally, this game is absolutely worth picking up.
Modern video games done in a retro style, I don't really think that there's anything that could be better. We have unbelievable game design concepts and just incredible teams developing wonderful, wonderful video games, and we are truly living in one of the most fortuitous times. Not only do we have access to all of the classic games of our past via emulation or via just buying the old games and using our old consoles, we have new ones that take those core concepts and those design elements that were set forth in the 80s and the 70s and the 90s bringing them forth to today. Games like Sea of Stars wouldn't be possible without things like Super Mario RPG. Games like Shovel Knight wouldn't be possible without Super Mario World. It's a wonderful time to be alive. It's a wonderful time to be a gamer. And these are just 10 of my personal favorites. I've done a couple other videos as well based on this subject. You can check those out. Links are in the description down below as well as in the pinned comment. If you enjoyed this one, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite modern retro style game is. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, folks, I've been Jay. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me today. If you enjoyed it, click thumbs up to like it. If you really enjoyed it, consider subscribing and sticking around. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.